everybody, Jennifer from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am back today with an unboxing and a review of the Sizzix Big Shot Switch Plus. This is their new electronic die cutting machine. And when I say electronic die cutting, I don't mean die cutting like the Cricut, because that is just an electronic cutting machine. This is similar to the Gemini or the Tim Holtz Vagabond or what have you. So let's go ahead and get this opened up. So I did get one in white from A Cherry on Top. They're available, a couple of other websites have them in other colors. Scrapbook.com has a pink one that is currently sold out, but they're supposed to be getting more in. And then Hobby Lobby in-store has kind of a, I think they're calling it like sherbet or something like that. It's kind of an orange peach color. But I got a white one because I wanted a white one. So that it would kind of blend in with my room a little bit better. So when you get this opened up, if I can talk, we've got our cutting plates, and these cutting plates are really good sized. This is comparable in size to the Gemini from Crafter's Companion. So these plates are 8 7/8 by, oh, they're longer than 12. So these are good sized plates. I think the packaging and the description and stuff says 9 by 12, so we'll just go with that because that's easier. They are beveled on the end here. You can kind of see the difference in the texture on the plate to help with them going into the machine. So we've got an adapter plate here that, as with the Big Shot, like the regular Big Shot, their adapter plates always have your sandwiches on there for Sizzix dies and things, and as far as how you would best want to layer your die to make your sandwich to run through your die cut machine. And then this is, of course, the main plate, and this has the sandwiches for embossing. So let's get our power pack out of here. There's the cord. And then it comes with actually a really pretty 3D embossing folder that does these hearts. And I will say this, and I'm going to pull some stuff here in a minute, and we're going to test what came with the machine and some other stuff out of my stash. But this is like a super heavy duty 3D embossing folder. Like, seriously, I'm really amazed by that. So it does come with some dies. It comes with a nested hexagon. It comes with some flowers and butterflies and leaves and things, which of course we can always use those. Those are always good. And it's got some little like stamen pieces, which I actually need for my heartfelt dies. So that's awesome. And then it comes with this, not really a border die, but just this kind of more intricate kind of lattice die that also has a rectangle that will punch that out as well. So this is just going to be the directions. So let's get this out of here. And, sorry, I got to move this for just 1 second. Okay, well, once you get it out of the box, it's actually not as heavy as I thought it was going to be. That box is heavy. Okay, so get in here. Okay, size-wise, it's kind of close to the Gemini overall. It's a little bit taller. I think it's about the same width. It's definitely not as deep as the Gemini. And it's not as heavy as the Gemini either. So I do have a Gemini machine, and I've had my Gemini for a number of years now, and quite honestly, the whole reason I was interested in this is I don't like my Gemini. Aside from the fact that the plates, if when you need to replace them, are ridiculously expensive, they're also very hard to find. But my experience, and I know this is not the case with everybody, I know there are a lot of you out there that absolutely love your Geminis. My experience with mine has been inconsistent cutting pressure. So when I very first got my Gemini, I of course followed the directions on it to do your sandwich to run dies through, and I always had an issue with it just seemed like it was too much pressure. Like it warped my plates like ridiculously the first time I ran it through. So I had emailed Crafter's Companion at the time. They just, you know, gave some suggestions for alternative sandwiches and said, you know, that's the case. That's just, sometimes you have to do that, whatever, because, you know, there's no way to adjust the pressure on the Gemini. And, you know, I had done that, but I was never, like, super happy with it. I always felt like, you know, it didn't matter what I did. It just, I couldn't get the sandwich correct. So I'd had it for a couple of years, and then Crafter's Companion released their hot foil dies and their hot foiling system. And I was super excited for that because the foiling is just, you know, foiling is awesome. So I had gotten that, and again, and this was with their platform and the cover plate that you're supposed to use with it. Clearly it was too much pressure. So I had contacted them again, and I will say this, their customer service was really, really good. They had me send my Gemini to them. They actually sent me a brand new one because the cutting pressure was off. The new one was fine at first, and the more I'd used it, again, the cutting was just inconsistent. Like, I could do my sandwich, I could run a die through 2 times, it would be fine. The 3rd time I would try to cut something with it, it wouldn't cut all the way through. Or it would all of a sudden, you know, now it's too much pressure. To the point that it just was incredibly frustrating, and it's been sitting in my closet for at least 1.5 years, if not longer. To the point that I actually went out and bought a Big Shot just so I had something I could use that I didn't have to fight with. So that's why I decided to go ahead and get this. So let me go ahead and get this plugged in. Yeah, sorry for the rambling story, but, you know, just like I said, that's been my experience with it. Not something I was super happy with. To the point, like I said, I literally do not use the machine. It sits in the closet. Okay, so got that plugged in. Let me find the twist tie on that. And I think this is actually going to fit. I left a little bit of space when I was rearranging stuff in here a couple weeks ago. I think I actually have a spot on my desk for this. Okay, so power button, reverse button. Very simple, very straightforward. There's a little door on the back where the sandwich, of course, will pop out. This little platform, which I really like the idea of this because, you know, you're not having to hold the die on until it gets halfway, or hold your sandwich till it gets halfway through, which is another thing with the Gemini. And then there's a little storage. Well, maybe there's a storage thing in here that you could put, you know, like your picks or whatever you use to get your, clear out your dies and that kind of thing. So you've got a little storage thing there. Okay, so power button. Let me grab a couple things and we're going to do some test cuts. Okay, so let's go ahead and we're going to try a couple of the dies that came with the machine. So we are turned on and it's saying for normal plates, or I'm sorry, normal dies. Let's see here. We're going to put our our 2 base plates, our die, and then we're going to put our paper on top of that. So let me just grab a couple of the dies off of here. Okay. I'm just going to lay that on there. I'm not, since, you know, we're just playing around here, I'm not going to like tape anything down like I normally would do. So, all right. I can tell you right now, it's definitely quieter than my Gemini. Okay. Let's not do that. That would be bad. Okay, so it cut beautifully through that. This is artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations, and it's a color that's been discontinued, so that's why we're using this, just to kind of fool around here. And there's apparently goo on the back of that die. All right, so let's go ahead and get those. Let me find my pick. I'll go ahead and pop that out. Okay, that cut beautifully, which I would assume it would cut its own dies beautifully, but you never know. Okay, so let's look at these. Yeah, it cut those absolutely perfectly. So that's awesome. So let's then, I don't think I'm going to cut the hexagon die. Let's try this more intricate die that they can sent with it. So this little, like, kind of lattice looking, I'm not sure what that is. It looks like lattice to me. So that's what I'm going to call it. Okay, so I'm going to put that down on there. Probably have to do my plate turn the right way, wouldn't it? Okay, so we're going to put that down. We're going to put our plate on top, and I need to turn it over so that, because I mean, it's just a good thing. What I've been hearing is these plates do not warp, which honestly I haven't had much of an issue with my Sizzix plates warping as it is, but that's what I've been hearing. I did not mean to do that face down into that bottom plate, but that's okay. So let's see. So yeah, that cut that out just perfectly, even though I cut it into my bottom plate, which I did not mean to do, but that's okay. We're just fooling around here. So that one cut really nicely as well. So let's try, because I'm really excited to try this embossing folder, simply because I have lots of embossing folders that I have not used for a very long time, again, because of the Gemini. So for the embossing folder, we do not need the A plate, so I'm going to set that aside. So according to our directions on here, we are going to, oops, staticky everywhere here. Oh my gosh. Okay, you want one plate on the bottom. Got our embossing folder with our paper in it, ready to go. Oh my gosh, staticky in here. Bad, bad, bad. It's because it's so dry. Okay, so which way does it want you to feed it through? It doesn't say. Okay, so we're gonna go this way. All right, so let's see. And this will stop if your sandwich is too much. It will stop and spit the plates back out. Like right there, I got crooked, so it spit it right back out, so that's good. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do. Unless this is, oh, this is a texture impression. So, see, that was good. This is one of those 3D texture impressions, so I actually only need one of the plates, so my bad on that. But like I said, you know, can't like send your sandwich through, you know, with too much in here and worry about breaking your machine because I got a hold of it because it will spit it back out. So let's see. Woo, that's pretty. Look at that. It did that. Tore in a couple of places, but that's, I'm sure, partially the cardstock. And typically when you're using the 3D embossing folders, it's best if you just lightly spritz your cardstock with water because of the way that they work. So that's on me, but that did that just beautifully. So let me grab a couple of other dies and things out of my stash and we'll play with those. I'll be right back. Okay, so first up, I think I'm going to try some other embossing folders. So this is a Crafter's Companion 3D embossing folder. So we're going to try this. The embossing folder itself on this one in particular is not as thick as the Sizzix one. So I think, in fact, it's not a whole lot thicker than that Cuttlebug one. So I am going to use both plates on this. So let me grab some cardstock. Put that in there. Okay. And oops. There we go. Nope, it's not liking that. Okay, let's try this again. I wasn't sure if that one was going to be too thick, so. And I had this Lazy Susan for my Gemini before I gave up on it. And it dawned on me as I was gathering up some other dies and things. Okay, that one is not working quite as well. So let's find, here, we'll just do it this way. We're going to put a couple of cardstock shims on top of this and see if that gives it enough pressure because it's not liking the other plate. So we'll try it that way and see if it works. See. But yeah, it still is not liking that Gemini Crafter's Companion 3D embossing folder, which is fine. You know, mine are all Christmas, so I've got some time to figure out a sandwich that works for these. So that one, it's not a real big fan of. Let's try. So this one was, I think, Simon Says Stamp from one of their boxes at Christmas. So we're going to try that one. But I think I'm going to try it because I wanted to try it when I first got it and I just had not had time. I figure out where my paper trimmer has disappeared to. I do want to actually cut this down. Rather than try to use the whole thing on that. Okay, so let's try it with this one. Okay, cross fingers. That sounds like it's working. Oh, yeah. Oh, I think this is going to be pretty. I'm excited. Look at that. Wow. Yeah, so this one is about as thick as that Sizzix one. So This one worked beautifully. So that's awesome. Okay, let's try a Cuttlebug die. Or I'm sorry, not die, embossing folder. And we're going to try an Altenew 3D embossing folder and see how that goes. Because their 3D embossing folders are not as thick. So it'll be interesting. So let's see how this one goes. Another thing I will say, this one seems to move, like pull this huge plate through faster than the Gemini. So again, really happy with that. Oh, look at that. That worked perfectly. So there we go. We've got another, because I've got piles of Cuttlebug embossing folders. So that's good to know. Let's try this. Actually, let's try this one first. So this is a cut and emboss folder from Crafter's Companion. I'm going to try it with this other gold cardstock. And this one is a thinner one, so we're going to try it with the 2 plates. And that one worked really well. Okay, so there we go. So that one worked beautifully. Look at that. So I've got that I could put on a card, or really I could even use those on an album. That would be kind of cool, actually. I've got several of these, so I'm going to have to remember that. So that did work. I know Sizzix makes some embossing folders that cut and emboss, so that worked really well. Let's try our Altenew one, and then we'll get into some other dies. Okay, so the Altenew ones are not super thick. Let me kind of compare it to, let's see here. No, I think we can probably get away with both plates on this one. We're going to try. And if it doesn't work, then we know. That worked. So let's see here. And I mean, I haven't turned that plate over and it's fine. So this is good. I like it. Oh, that worked beautifully as well. Look at that one. And I've got quite a few of theirs too. So I don't know why I kept buying embossing folders because, well, no, because I could do it with my Big Shot since I did finally break down and buy that. So all right, so let's try some other dies. And I'm going to specifically try one that were the ones that were the whole reason that I bought the Gemini in the first place. So Crafter's Companion did all of these Create-A-Card dies, and they're big dies. Like, they wouldn't run through like a Cuttlebug or anything like that, which is what I had at the time that I got the Gemini and ended up getting rid of stupidly. And I've kind of kicked myself ever since. But these dies were meant to make these really neat kinetic cards. So you could kind of change it up as far as how many of the different panels and layers and things you used, or you could cut them all just as they come on their storage magnet panel thingies here. Seriously, I'm like completely sleep deprived. I was at a retreat over the weekend and literally got maybe 3 hours of sleep a night. So, so if I sound like I don't know what I'm doing, that's probably why. And, you know, I don't know what I'm doing. All right, so let's just get that all lined up. So this should cut and emboss, not emboss, score the lines where the card needs to fold. I never could get these to work the way they were intended to work with the Gemini, which again was part of my frustration with it, was because the whole reason I bought it was because of these dies, because I thought these card dies were just amazing. So, all right, let's see how this goes. Okay, the cracking sound is normal, and you will get that with larger dies and more intricate dies and that kind of thing. So that's completely normal, not anything to worry about. Okay, so, and this is where I really just kind of think it's Crafter's Companion that is the problem, and not necessarily, because as you can see, it did not cut through. So either it cut like the edge pieces, it did not cut these little decorative pieces in the middle all the way through. So the problem here is either, because I don't think it's the paper. This paper has cut with the other ones we've used. I've cut artisan paper with other dies I own without any issue. So I'm kind of thinking this really is more of an issue with the Crafter's Companion dies themselves than with this machine in particular. So I'll play with that some more because I do have like 6 or 8 of those. So we're going to try next, maybe, if I can get it open, this gorgeous butterfly die from Heartfelt Creations. So this is one I did get from Country Craft Creations. And this one has both the outline of the butterfly, it has the wings and whatnot for the butterfly. And we're going to do this like this. We're going to put that one there. And then this one is going to go around and cut that part out. I almost cut my paper too small, so this is going to be interesting. And then I did cut my paper too small, so we're just going to turn and cut just the butterfly itself that has the most detail. So, all right, let's try this one. Cut flawlessly as well. Yeah, I'm really starting to think it's Crafter's Companion that is the problem here, not the machine or the dies. Well, the Gemini still. Anyway, we'll get off that subject because I'm just going on too much. Anyway, all right, so got a little bit where it didn't quite get in between one of the wings here. So what I'm going to do, and that I've had that happen just even with the hand cranking because it is an intricate die and this is a heavier cardstock. This gold foil cardstock is. So we're going to try one more time. There we go. Yeah, sometimes the really intricate ones you do have to run them through more than once. And that time it did get that little piece. Okay. So I've got this outline that I'm trying really hard not to tear because it's very, very delicate. Oh, come on. Little butterfly. There we go. So look at that. That cut beautifully. All right, and then where is my, there it is, okay. Oh, this cut out a whole bunch of little pieces. All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so it cut through, they're just not popping out without some assistance, which is fine, but look at that. That cut beautifully. It's seeming like with the non-Sizzix dies, and I've got one more really intricate one we're going to try next. It does seem like I have a tool for this. Why am I not using it? I think you're supposed to do it while it's actually still in the die, so that probably is not going to help me right now, but that's okay. Yeah, because I'm not sure if it's supposed to just emboss those. No, those are popping out. Okay. Yeah, so this really, it did a nice job. And I mean, how gorgeous is that? Oh my gosh. Seriously, I'm so glad I got that one. Okay, I'm going to set that one aside. I have one more super intricate one we're going to try that I absolutely, well, have to decide which one of them I'm going to try. So I've got these two from Maker Forte, and they're layering dies. So you don't necessarily have to do all of them if you don't want to. You could do just one piece. And I think we're going to do that one. I don't think I'm going to do the potion bottle. I think I'm going to do just this one here. So for more intricate, it wants it to go face down, which makes sense. And we're going to try this without a shim and see how this does. Because these are really heavy dies. I'm like seriously impressed with them. They're like Teflon coated or something, so you're not supposed to have a whole lot that sticks in them, and your dies tend to pop out really easily. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that cut perfectly. Look at that. That cut absolutely perfect. Oh my gosh, look at that. Yeah, so, okay, I gotta say, I'm impressed. The first time I used these Maker Forte dies with my normal Big Shot, I did have to run them through a couple of times, and I think I actually ended up on the really intricate one like this. I think I ended up putting in like a, I think I did end up putting a shim in on that one. But, I mean, come on, that just worked flawlessly. Here's the other thing that you can do with these, which I think is really, really cool. Or with this machine. So, you don't have to use the big plates. So that was always the thing with the Gemini. Because it was slow, I usually would use the Gemini Junior plates, because you could get the Junior plates, you could feed them in sideways. So these are the normal Sizzix Big Shot plates. Okay. So we're going to try, oh, I don't want to do that one because that was the one I used as a shim. So we're going to try this. Where is my die? We're going to try the butterfly again. Ha, everything's out. Okay. And we're going to try it through here. Look at that. Although, apparently you can run them in this way as well, because there's sensors in here that will see where your cutting platform is. Except it didn't like that die again, darn it. Of course that might be because this one's, it's not too horribly worked. And this is the magnetic platform, so other than something's happened to that. All right, let's try this one more time. And I'm gonna do, which one did I just do? Of the two, that one. Is it this one? Yes. So this time I'm gonna do, actually no, I am gonna do that one. So we're gonna do that one. We're gonna try and see. How awesome is that? And because you can use the smaller plate, it's going to make it that much faster for it to run through. Okay. And again, it's the heartfelt, it seems to want to shim, which is fine, and that might actually be, why do I want to say that it tells you on these somewhere? Maybe it's not this one. Maybe it's the... Okay, some of the heartfelt dies have like the insert that the dies actually sit on. It will tell you the different sandwiches. So, that may be what we just need to adjust for with that, because when I did run it through with a shim, it ran perfectly. Okay, so this one is even more intricate, and look at that. And the way these go together is then this would sit on top of that one, and they're actually really cool when you do them like in a monotone like that with just the, you know, same color layered one on top of the other. They're actually really pretty. Which I'm going to go ahead and cut the other one really quickly. Okay, so there's that one. And let's try this one. Again, didn't quite get my bottom there, but that's okay. Didn't quite get the bottom, which does happen sometimes. You have to run, and I mean this is the case with any die cut system, you do have to sometimes run them through at an angle for it to pick up. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so there we go. Anyway, but these layer together like so. And then you just have this, like, I don't know, they're gorgeous. Anyway, all right, so final thoughts. So far, I'm very impressed. I do need to do a little bit of homework to see what the best option is on the heartfelt dies, because I do have quite a few of those, just because that's what I've been using with design team projects and what have you. Maybe let's try one more really quickly. We'll just do like the tag die. So it's like not an intricate die, but it's still a die that, we're just going to use that one. Oh my gosh, seriously. It happens. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Oh, see that one, it cut perfectly. It just seems to be because this one is incredibly intricate that I need to play with the sandwich a little bit. But that's fine, because most of the dies I have from Heartfelt are not this intricate. Most of them are more kind of a standard, you know, like my little tag die here. So, good to know. Yeah, see, this one has the insert. There you go. The tag die does, that tells you what sandwiches to use for which machines. So, all right, so there you go. Like I said, I'm super impressed. It's quieter, it's faster, it's not quite as big. It's close size-wise. I should have gotten the other one out to compare them side by side, but that's okay. It's definitely not as heavy, and it's definitely faster. So, they are a little hard to get right now. I got completely lucky in finding it at a cherry on top, and for them shipping it incredibly quickly. I had it in a week, which really kind of surprised me. So there we go. Thanks for watching. As always, please hit like and subscribe and ring the bell if you want to get notified when I post new videos. I've got several tutorials planned for mini albums. One super simple one that I did at the retreat this weekend for a challenge that I won. I've got a series planned with the Here Comes the Bride paper from Country Craft Creations. So, as always, thanks for watching. Bye.